Today, let's talk about a piece of software with a legendary name and, oh boy, a really dramatic history. RPG Maker MZ. It was supposed to be the best one yet, but its launch was, well, a total mess. So, what on earth happened? And did it ever manage to crawl its way back? Let's get into it.
You know that dream, right? The one where you create your very own video game, building a massive world from scratch, crafting your own heroes, your own villains. For decades, the whole point of the RPG Maker series has been to make that dream happen, even if you don't know the first thing about coding.
So you can imagine, when RPG Maker MZ was first announced, the community was absolutely buzzing. This wasn't just some minor update, it was billed as the next huge leap forward for indie game devs. This was supposed to be a legend reborn. At its heart, RPG Maker MZ is the latest creation from Kadokawa, and it's built to do one thing really well. Help you make those classic, Japanese-style role-playing games. You know the ones. The big promise was simple. Give creators way more power, but make it easier to use than ever before.
And to be fair, when it launched, it came absolutely packed with new features. I mean, this thing was meant to be the most powerful version to date. So let's pop the hood and see what was supposed to be so great.
Okay, first up, something that got longtime fans really excited was the return of a feature they'd been begging for, manual map layers. This meant you now had 4 separate layers to work with, giving you so much more control to build these really intricate, beautiful maps. Plus, you had some awesome quality of life updates, like being able to rearrange your map tree and getting pixel-perfect image saving. Huge wins for sure.
And that was just the start. MZ rolled out a brand new time progress battle system. So instead of the old everybody takes a turn model, your characters act when their turn gauge fills up, which is pretty cool. The character creator got way more flexible too, and it came with the single largest library of built-in graphics, music, and sounds the series had ever seen. On paper, this thing looked like a total slam dunk.
But then it actually launched, and the reaction from the community was not exactly what the developers were hoping for. That dream quickly started to feel more like a huge disappointment.
And this quote from a user on launch day just captures that feeling perfectly. You can just feel the frustration. There was this sense of betrayal from some longtime fans who felt like the new 3D stuff completely abandoned what made the series special, that classic 2D sprite art charm.
So, the backlash really boiled down to a few key things. Those new 3D battle animations were a huge sticking point. A lot of people called them flat and just soulless. Some even argued the quality of the built-in graphics was actually a step backwards. And that famous "no programming needed" tagline, yeah, people were quick to point out that if you wanted to do anything really interesting, you still needed a pretty good handle on game logic.
But here's where the story takes a really interesting turn. Instead of just letting the software die, the developers actually listened. They got to work. And over the next 2 years, something kind of remarkable happened.
And this timeline just lays it all out. It wasn't some magical overnight fix. It was a long, slow grind of releasing consistent, meaningful updates. They fixed bugs, they added features, and slowly but surely, they started to turn the whole ship around.
And here's the proof. Get this. This is an updated review from the exact same user whose angry quote we just read. 2 years later, they're saying MZ has finally become what it was always promised to be. I mean, a turnaround in opinion that dramatic? That's incredibly rare, and it just speaks volumes about the effort they put in after that disastrous launch.
Which of course brings us to the million-dollar question. After all that drama, after the rocky launch and the slow comeback, is RPG Maker MZ actually worth your money today?
All right, let's break it down. On the pro side, you get that super powerful map editor, a giant library of assets to start with, and a tool that is now genuinely better than its predecessor, MV. But there are definitely cons. The full price is pretty steep, you still have to be willing to learn, and, this is a big one, the next version, RPG Maker Unite, is just around the corner.
And that brings us to what might be the single most important piece of advice from the community, and it's dead simple. Just wait for a sale. Seriously. The full price can be a tough pill to swallow, but they run discounts pretty regularly, which makes the whole decision a lot easier. So far, the lowest we've seen it go on Steam is 20% off. So if you can hold out for one of those big summer or winter sales, it is absolutely the smart move.
So that leaves us with one final, interesting thought. With the next generation of RPG Maker on its way, maybe now is the perfect time to grab the now mature and powerful MZ on sale. Is this the moment to jump in, learn the system, and really sharpen your skills so you're ready to hit the ground running when the next big thing arrives? Definitely something to think about.